Hey guys, got a little bit of an update on this little Eton 90, which will be an Eton 110, I guess, when it's done. I spent like an hour and a half positioning this engine in here. Once again, I got carburetor clearances and then having the engine on enough of a slant in here so that it's kind of up in the air in the front a little. My carburetor's cable thing is kind of set up to be low profile, so I think it'll work just fine. Probably take the gas tank off in order to pull this in and out. And I was worried about my cable being long enough, which I think will be alright. Pretty much, when I was fighting with it, I kind of realized after I had it all in there where I wanted it, one of the reasons why it was fighting me is, you can see it's on this little Nerf bar thingy, it's kind of sitting on his side. And the reason why it's not sitting on the other side, where I was pretty much doing most of my jacking and working on it, is this side would have a little cover on it. So I think when I'm all done with, get this engine out of here, I'll that Nerf bar tube's hollow, so I can just kind of bash it down a little bit. And then battery box made. I got some cleaning out and re-welding on it to do. And one day I welded this, this box, I just could not get nice beads at all. I got the front of it welded here, and then the back still needs welded. I don't really like doing a whole lot of welding on here when the engine's sitting in it, just trying to get some tacking and stuff like that. But once I'll get the engine back out, hopefully it comes back out. But there we are. This right here, I cannot weld upside down, so this right here is just tacked on here, enough to get the engine to kind of hang on it, but it wouldn't handle any torque right now. And then this rear mount, so I got this chain right here, so I can't put this mount underneath because the chain would just run right through it and chew it in half. So I'm kind of aiming to I'm gonna notch out the bottom of this tube on each side and get it so it fits down in. And then it's probably gonna be a lot of weld fill and stuff. But this tube right here came out of a bicycle. It says, Buttercup or something on it. It's not as heavy as I'd like, but let me see. Not as heavy as I would like to have in here, but it's probably about the equivalent of what this bike's built out of. So we got Buttercup. So far, the chain looks like it's going to track good. I don't have a chain that's long enough. This is a used chain, and you can see my gap in the chain right here. But pretty much I just keep, I keep working it back and forth, and it seems pretty good. It's in there pretty good. I guess if it's not, it'll just keep flying off, and I'll get mad and just throw it on a scrap pile or something. But I think we'll be all right there. I was watching a video. I think it's called Effort Equals Results, his channel, and he was putting together a 400EX, and he had this giant O-ring left over, and I think, I got to kind of looking through some of my jugs, and it does appear that one jug will have a spot for it, and another jug won't. From what I can figure is this jug here is a 300EX jug, and you can see around here that this has been machined. So they machined the old cylinder out of it and pressed a new one down in it. So you have a real nice perfect shape around the outside of it. Usually if they're cast, they'll cast the jug around the cylinder, and the cylinders are rough. You can kind of see where it's knitted to it. So whenever they machine them out, they usually machine out a ring groove down the bottom here. And there you can see it. I think it's just so it keeps oil from getting in between the jug and the cylinder. As far as like if you forgot to put it in, it'd probably be fine. You know, it just oil could get up inside there and kind of bake into it. But you know, at the top, your head gasket is going to seal mostly against this. You know, because it's usually a little thicker right there around that edge of that cylinder. It's going to seal against the cylinder itself. So you're not going to lose any compression or anything over it. But this one here has definitely been, you know, aftermarket machine shop fitted in here. I can tell you it's pressed in there just for the fact that I run an industrial hone, sized hone, and this would be an extremely small part to put in there. But I tried to take this thing 20 over, and the machine has so much pressure and torque against it that it actually spun this out. I actually got this thing to where since it spun out, it went out around, and then it's like on size in spots, and then I still got 5,000 stock in other places. So the best thing for this thing is going to be is I'm actually going to have to take it somewhere and probably have it taken 40 over to fix it. So I don't really need this right now. I was just trying to experiment and see if I could do it in the hones at work. It didn't work out too well for me. Pretty much the hones at work, like the stones that goes in the tool, for this size of tool would be an 8-inch long stone, and then what you got here, like 5 inches. So you just can't set the stroke on it to have it so that both ends in the middle and everything's running straight. I suppose I could like break away my stones to make them shorter, but you know, to do something like this at work, I'd almost have to go in like on my, you know, so I'm not on my shift. And when I tried this, I was running my other machines, you know, trying to do my job at the same time trying to do this in another one, and it would take me time, and I just, you know, I work afternoons, so the only time to go in and do a government job off hours would be on day shift, and I really wouldn't want to do it while they're there, while all the bosses are there. So, but yeah, there's where that O-ring goes down in there. From what I see, they usually don't even fit in there very good, so I can't really imagine it really does a whole lot. And then the heat from the cylinder, when you go take this apart, that O-ring will be in like burn up. I mean, it'll be burnt to a crisp and not really doing anything anyway. So if the guy from Effort Equals Results channel watches this, that was kind of for you. And probably have another little update with this later, see if I can get that bar in there, and I'm hoping this engine comes back out. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching and commenting, and see ya.